Rampage Jackson arrested 24 days after his brutal attack on pro wrestler Syko Stu. Is it free Raja? Is it justice served? I mean, you tell me what you think, where you stand on the matter. Okay, so to answer your question, what's he charged with? He's not charged with anything yet. Here we have the police report right here. So if we just scroll down to the bottom, or the arrest report. If we go to the arrest report here, case info, $50,000 bail, no release information, no court date set. Looks like he was arrested at 13:39. So like 1:39 p.m. in the afternoon. I don't know what that means. 900. So at 9 a.m. he was arrested. 9 a.m. he was arrested. 1:31 p.m. this afternoon he was booked. Free Rampage Jackson, innocent till proven guilty. I mean, each narrative has their own points. This whole thing would have never started if Syko Stu didn't smash that can over Raja's head. That must be gotten out of the way first before we talk about anything else. This was a pro wrestling event. He was allowed in the ring. He took it too far, yes. But it wasn't like he came in that ring and he wasn't allowed in that ring. I saw that video, very nice for him. Shout out to James. Okay, so it looks like the most we know, for Vlad's question, he's charged with a felony. We don't know the felony charge. Time will tell. What's interesting though is Rampage hasn't bailed his son out, and it's been 9 hours since he's been booked. So it's 10 p.m. here. I'm on the same time zone as him. Booked at 1:39 p.m. this afternoon. Pro wrestling is real and it was a fair match. Hey. A lot of the pro wrestlers don't like to do these court cases or press charges because they have to admit that the shit is supposed to be fake, and then that's kind of proof. So, it's a slippery slope. They don't want to go in here and be like, Raja wasn't actually supposed to hit me. That's the last thing they want to admit. You know what I mean? But look at that. Raja born in 2000. So he's 25 years old. Just turned 25 4 months ago. No information on what he's being charged with. We have to wait and find out. We'll probably find out by the morning time. He's a young man. He's a young man for sure. He's got a whole life ahead of him. Rampage was recently saying, my son should do a little bit of jail time. I wonder if he still feels that way now that he's locked up. Let's take a look at the TMZ report that came out. Okay, so TMZ broke the news, and here's what their report says. Rampage Jackson, the son of UFC legend Quinton Rampage Jackson, was arrested on Thursday for brutally beating down a wrestler at an event late last month. TMZ Sports has learned the 25-year-old was taken into custody early in the morning and booked on a felony charge. Jail records show he's currently still behind bars, being held on a $50,000 bond. The arrest, of course, stems from that ugly incident at a Knokx Pro wrestling event in LA, where Raja slammed Syko Stu, Stuart Smith, to the mat and then pummeled him with nearly 24 punches as he was unconscious. Mercifully, after 10 to 11 seconds of repeated blows, other wrestlers stepped in and pulled Raja off Smith. The wrestler, who had gotten into a spat with Raja just before the event, spent several days in the hospital with numerous injuries, including a fractured maxilla bone. Thankfully, he's since been released and is recovering at home. Speaking of what I just said about Rampage, here he is. Premeditated assault and all stream live. I mean, I guess there is call for premeditation with the verbiage he was using on the live. You know what I mean? He's saying, nah, watch, my dad ain't never gonna be able to call me a bitch after this. Watch what I'm gonna do. And then he's saying, no, it's not fake. I'm really going to hit him. I'm really going to hurt him till they pull me off him. They said I could. But again, he saves his ass, HD, when he says, they said I could. You know, I feel like Raja fucking, maybe he's a little bit more intelligent than he's leading on, because I feel like there were some words in there on the stream that could also save him in court when this all comes down. Because he kept saying he has consent. He has consent. I'm going to beat his ass, right? That's what he said. And then he's like, I have consent. So it's going to be slippery, bro. For attempt, I think it'd be higher than 50K. They only got to put up 7% of that. Where I'm from, I assume maybe LA County is similar. Yeah, I was going to say, Raja doesn't even need 50K to bond out. It's probably real low. I'm surprised Rampage hasn't bonded him out, but Rampage is being a man of his word, saying, I think he should do a little time. Now, keep in mind, I'm of the narrative of saying, you know, Rampage, who are you to be saying this stuff? You've had your own fair share of legal trouble in the past. You didn't necessarily do jail time. You did community service. I see you calling for community service. But saying your son deserves a little bit of time when you haven't done time for certain crimes that I'm not going to mention. But it's after you lost to Forrest Griffin and crashed out. When you didn't do jail time for those crimes, I don't think you should be calling for jail time, you know what I mean, on Raja. I think you should just stay neutral, bro. You're the young man's father. Yes, were Raja's actions not the best? That is correct. But as his father, I feel like you should have just played it neutral. Anyway, here's what Rampage is saying.
I think that he should do, fuck all that. Raja, I think that he should do a little time, do a little community service, and go to anger management class, see some therapy.
But you know that goes like some people said it was attempted murder and things like that. That's not a little time.
It wasn't attempted murder because he wasn't trying to kill that guy.
How do you know?
Because that's my son. I know my son. Roger wasn't trying to kill nobody. He wasn't trying to kill that. He wasn't trying to kill that guy. Roger probably didn't even know how bad he hurt that guy. He wasn't trying to kill that guy. The problem is everything got blown out of proportion, and people thought that Roger snuck into the fucking ring and did that. That's what the problem is. Like at this point, Roger was in the act as a pro wrestler, but he ain't no fucking pro wrestler. The promoters had no reason putting my son in that fucking ring. So, but it was no attempted fucking murder.
I guess to answer the $1 million question that Ariel even wanted to ask, that Rampage just got done answering, attempted murder? I don't think so, bro. I don't think it's attempted murder. I think it got out of hand. I think he got permission to go in that ring, bro. I think he got permission to go in that ring. I see when, people are saying premeditated assault. I get that shit. And that's probably what the charge is going to be. I feel like Raja's got a decent defense. That's what I'm going to say. I feel like Raja's got a decent defense. Like we mentioned earlier, these pro wrestlers, they don't want to, they don't want to air out their dirty laundry. So hopefully Raja's dad can fucking put up some money and help him get out, and then, spend some decent money on the legal defense and avoid jail time. I don't know. People probably think I'm a piece of shit for saying that. Be like, what are you talking about? Raja should get locked up. I'm just speaking from their perspective, you know what I mean? Like, if it was my son and shit, I'm going to try to make us avoid jail time. Poor Syko Stu. Will he press charges? I guess this is just a criminal investigation at this point, but, if people aren't cooperating, they're going to have Raja, they're going to arrest him, question him. Hopefully he pleads the fifth. This is what I'm imagining happening. My first 48 hat on. Raja's arrested, taken in for questioning, pleads the fifth. They release him tomorrow. The investigation has started. They're going to be calling in the pro wrestlers, a whole crew of them. Will they answer questions? Will they not? Let's find out. I think after that, they're going to see whether or not they even have a case to move forward with. If the wrestlers cooperate, they're going to move forward. If the wrestlers don't cooperate and shit, they got nothing on Raja. And sure, law enforcement tried to arrest him, but it seems like law enforcement is just arresting Raja here, and it's not like there's been charges pressed. Let's see. But I feel like there haven't been charges pressed against Raja from the wrestlers. This is like the LAPD taking upon themselves. You see a lot of people kind of like calling this out online right now. Luke Thomas, what incredible timing. Luke Thomas, do you know something, brother? Because I'm a little bit onto you. Look, everybody's saying it took them long enough. There was an outcry recently being like, Raja hasn't been arrested. You know, what's going on? Guess nothing's happening. Take a look at this. Before the reports dropped earlier this evening, 6 hours ago. This news dropped probably about 4 hours ago, 5 hours ago now. So it was incredible timing. So I guess nothing is going to happen to Rampage Jackson. No one is talking about that anymore. Boom, it gets dropped. He's been arrested. Actually, he had already been arrested when Luke Thomas posted that. But I guess people started looking into it, and they went on Los Angeles County website, and then they confirmed he had been arrested. So maybe Luke Thomas saying this caused somebody to search it up, and then the story dropped. But look, yeah, breaking 3 hours after Luke Thomas posted it. Timing on my tweet is insane. They just arrested him. What are the people saying? Oh, they're saying Charlie Kirk got shot, nobody cares type shit. If Rampage didn't hate you before, he definitely does now. It's up to Stu to press charges. Doesn't matter what the peanut gallery says or wants. Yeah, so it seems like the police are just opening up their own investigation. We'll see here. Love you, Mindless Hulk. Raja is a great actor. He might be a great actor. You know, you never know. He may be smarter than what we're giving him credit for. Wonder if it took them a while to figure out what they were going to charge him with. I think it took them a while to gather up, like, okay, who are we going to, like, they probably want to get all the names of the suspects who were at this event who had something to do with it, reviewed all the footage, and probably checked out some cameras and stuff like that, and we're like, okay, let's, we have enough, we have a blueprint on how we're going to run this investigation, so boom, let's start with arresting Raja. I could be way off, let's see. I mean, how are you going to arrest Raja and keep him there for longer than 24 hours? I feel like he low-key should have been like, how are you arresting this man? We need to know this. Like, what's the charge? The charge will come out. But I'm almost of the belief that, like, they arrested him for questioning. And now the investigation is about to unfold. They're going to call in Syko Stu. You know, they're going to call in Syko Stu's family. They're going to call in the promoter of Knokx Pro. Let's see, though. Let's see what the comments are here. Took too damn long, and that bond is pathetically low. His father will bail him out in no time, and he'll be walking the streets. Wait till trial, where he'll get a slap on the wrist as punishment. Rampage Jackson is proof. Oh, gosh. Why is it only $50K? Why did it take a month to arrest him? Can't his daddy pay the $50K bail? Why did it take so long? Here's the image right here. I see a lot of people being like, you know, good, good, good. That's a lot of Twitter right now about Rampage Jackson. The last thing I was going to say, though, because people are saying, you know, Raja's a decent actor. And like, yeah, Raja even is gonna go with the storyline of even when he was leaving the event and they're like, you were still mad, you were crashing out. He's gonna say he was in character. The whole thing was in character. He wasn't sure when to jump out of character. You know, he's gonna say he was always in character because he was on stream. It was for the pro wrestling event. He's gonna act like he was a pro wrestler too. So he's gonna act like, oh no, it wasn't intentional. I was just playing along. You know, I was really cool. I didn't lose my shit. That was just me in character. I was acting. That's what's gonna happen a little bit. But hopefully Raj is pleading the fifth.